Love is a very beautiful thing. And one of the best things that could happen to any human is to receive love and to give love, especially when such love relationship ends up in a blissful, long lasting marriage experience. However, you will agree with me that there is no way two people will come together in the name of falling in love and there wouldn't be a point where there will be a conflicting differential interest. I want to welcome you especially to this special series of single, engaged, and married. My names are Anthony Olugbenga Kapo. Today, here before me, I want to discuss on conflict resolution in marriage and relationship. Conflict resolution in marriage and relationship. As a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ and a relationship coach, over time I found out that one of the things that brings peace or peaceful coexistence among we human is when we understand how to manage the love relationship that cannot but exist in our lives. The truth here is that God, who is love, created we human being to know the value of love in our life. And like I said earlier, every man, one of the best things that could happen to every man is to receive love and to give love. When I say every man, I do not mean just men only. I mean all human, whether young or old, boy, girl, fully grown man or woman. One of the best things that could happen to each one of us that we all naturally crave for is to receive love and to give love. But for the sake of emphasis, I'm saying that we must understand, and I know you will all agree with me, that there is no way two people will come together in love, in a relationship, and most likely trusting and believing that such relationship will end up in marriage. And there wouldn't be a point in time where there will be a conflicting differential interest. By the grace of God, in my several years of counseling relationship and marriages, I found out that it is very important that we human understand how to resolve our conflicting differential interests. And that is why I have put up this little book. One of the series of this book is Singles Digest. This book will help everyone who is intending, singles who are intending to go into a love union, or the engaged, or those newly married. It's a good book. You can get this hard copy or order for the PDF soft copy. It is from this book, very book, I want to bring to your hearing today one of the series of the teachings I've prepared on conflict resolution in marriage or relationship. And just before I do that, I think it is wise we first understood what conflict actually is, and also to state categorically the major causes of conflicts in marriages or relationship. Then, before I'll talk about seven don'ts of conflict resolution, that is, seven ways you must never employ if you're trying to resolve conflicting differential influence, or sorry, interest between you and your loved ones. So let's start right away by talking about what is conflict resolution. What is conflict resolution? I'm reading straight from this book. Singles Digest. I prepared a book like this for singles. We call it Single Digest. Prepare another one for Couples Digest. So I'm reading straight from this book. Here I have it written in chapter 57 of this book. In a simple man language, conflict resolution can best be defined as a socio-human concept that tries to deal with the method and process of facilitating and reconciliation of conflicting interests between two or more people. And yes, this is very true. For example, um, in industrial psychology, one of the major topic of consideration in the field of industrial psychology is conflict resolution, because it is believed that there are no way two people or more who have a dealing, who have an agreement of a thing, of a business endeavor, of a pursuit of a goal, and there wouldn't be a point in time there will be a conflicting interest. And this is very true also in love relationship. This is very true. There are no way two people will say they are in love and there will not be a point in time when there will be conflict among them. I read further on this book trying to explain to you what conflict resolution is about. It is the art of mediating the differences that exist and hamper peaceful coexistence of given human relationships. Amen. All right. It seems we human, because of our many frailty, coupled with our never stable personalities, we are prone to disagreeing with what we most likely profess to care about. Even in our relationships as well, we keep struggling ignorantly. We are unable to fully comprehend or fathom why we are mostly at loggerheads and experience several contradictions with the same people we really care about or share emotion with. And this is most true in our love affairs, even in marriage relationship. You will agree with me that it isn't an unrealistic taboo that there is any true human lover anywhere in the whole world who will not at one point in time or the other in their lifetime together have somehow or some way disagree or argue about something. Now, what conflict resolution tries to do is helping you understand that having conflicting interests in your relationship with your loved one is normal. But you knowing how to resolve the conflict is ultimate. Knowing how to resolve conflict that cannot but happen is the ultimate. See, it is very true that love can easily turn to hatred. And one of the common premise on which that could happen is when there are conflicting interests between two lovers and none of them understand the basic simple principle on how they could resolve this conflict without creating more harm or worsening the given situation that actually gender the conflict. And this is what I'm here to talk about. This is what I'm here to talk about. Now, also, like I said earlier, having discussed what conflict resolution is, I just showed you from the book that conflict resolution is something that is applicable even in the field of study as relating to industrial psychology, human psychology. It is agreed that two people cannot be and there won't be a conflict. But for the purpose of this teaching, we want to talk about the love union relationship between two people, including marriage, how you handle conflict resolution, how you go about conflict mediation, conflict resolving in such a way that does not create more harm or worsen the situation, thereby turning love into hatred. Now, marriage counselors all over the world believes that there are three major things that will naturally generate conflict in any given relationship. Marriage counselor all over the world believes this. And what are these? Number one, sex related issues. In every given marriage, or even engaged relationship as it were in the world, one of the basic things that will often easily generate conflict is sex related issue. When two people are in love and they come together as man and wife, if they would not understand how to communicate their differences, their passion, their desire, their like and dislike in the area of conjugal courtesy, that is intimacy, sexual intimacy, it might gender into some very, very unpleasant situation that could even see to the end of such love union. This is the number one thing all marriage counsel all over the world believes in. The first thing we believe could generate conflict in any given marriage. In any given marriage, it is believed that sex related issue could come up. The second one, like it, and I have it written in this book, Causes of Conflicts in Marriage, is financial issues. Financial issues. Financial issues. We keep encouraging young people who want to settle down in marriage to not shy away in talking about how they have decided to run their financial life in a marriage, especially for the Christian folks. It's good to believe in faith. It's good to trust God. It's good to know God can provide for your needs according to riches in glory in Christ Jesus. But you and your partner need to understand that if your financial life is not stable or it's not going well, this could implicate your love life. It could affect your love life negatively. And so, by that, degenerating to unpleasant conflicts between you and your loved one. The third one, like it, that could easily gender into conflict in any given union is communication related issues. Communication is powerful. Communication is a big thing. It's one of the major ingredients for the success of any love union. If two people are in love and they will not cultivate healthy communication skill while they are dating each other, while they are engaged, not to even talk about marriage, I can assure you, such marriage or relationship, as long as it exists, might be a relationship of marriage that will be endured instead of being a relationship of marriage that should be enjoyed. These are the three basic things marriage counselors all over the world believes that could bring about conflict in marriage. For purpose of emphasis, I am stating them again. One, sex-related issues, conjugal courtesy, sexual intimacy. Number one. Number two, financial issues. Financial issues. When bringing money to the table to feed the family is causing psychological stress, when the lack is becoming unbearable, when insufficiency in the area of financial supply isn't constant, insufficiency is becoming rampant, this could easily generate to conflict. And the third, like I rightly said, is communication issue. Communication issue. When people fail to generate good communication skill while they are dating, while they are engaged, or while they are married, it could see to the very quick end of such union. Please remember this. All these things I just said are all well written in this book on my hand, Singles Digest, a book very good for intending single, engaged single, and the newly wedded. All right, for the purpose of this teaching, like I rightly said, I am not just here to tell you what conflict resolution is, or just here to tell you what are the major causes of conflict resolution. Yes, I have stated the major causes, and also there are minor causes. If you will lay your hand on this book, you can order for the hard copy or the soft copy PDF format. You will see the minor reasons why there can be conflict in love relationship as well. But the purpose why I'm here, most essential reason why I'm here is to tell you these seven don'ts of conflict resolution. That is, seven ways you should never employ if you are trying to resolve conflict between you and your partner. And yes, I want you to know that teachings like this are very, very important. Because look at me, you should be wary in your love life to bring third person or third voice or a second person into that union. Individual or partners or couple in love union must learn how to settle their differences amicably without necessarily bringing the third party, because in most cases the influence and the intrusion of third parties doesn't always end well in every love union. And that is why, if you're an intended single, you are engaged, or you're already married, you need to know basic way you can simply distill the atmosphere of conflict in your union. And that is why I'm here, and this is what I'm trying to teach. Okay, let's quickly run over this. Let's quickly run over this. The number one way of the seven ways, the seven don'ts of conflict resolution. The seven don'ts of conflict resolution. In other words, seven ways you must never employ if you're trying to resolve conflicts between you and your partner. The first one I have here is that don't use harshness. I like to say that again. Don't use harshness. Don't use harshness. Now, if you're a Christian, you're watching this, I have Bible scripture quoting that backs up each of this topic I'm saying. Is this okay? If you order for the book, you'll see the Bible scriptures that talk about this. All right. Number one, don't use harshness. I'm reading from the book. When it comes to settling marital conflicts between you and your spouse or your fiance or fiancé, you must learn to avoid every form of uncautioned emotional outburst or confrontation. I like to say that again. When it comes to resolving issue between you and your spouse or your fiance or fiancé, you must learn to avoid every form of uncautioned emotional outburst or confrontation. When you're trying to correct your partner or point out his or her mistake, shortcomings, or weaknesses, don't yell, never nag, don't scream or shout. Such action will degenerate or generate more confusion, because it will naturally bring about provocation and worse response out of your partner. Wow. Now, listen, if you're listening to this and you have been doing this, don't worry. You can start training yourself. You can start training yourself. No matter how gentle your partner, your fiance or fiancé is, and no matter how right you think you are in your point you are about to discuss, if you go by the measure of emotional outburst and uncautioned confrontation, you are going to bring out the worst out of your partner, and you'll find out that the peace you're actually looking for only become a mystified existence in your mind. You must be gentle and calm when you want to talk to your partner. Never use harshness. Don't use harshness. Be calm. Be calm. Even if you're talking to him or her, and he or she is raising his voice, keep telling him, can you please keep your cool? Can you please keep your cool? And also, I want to tell you, if with all the effort of trying to make sure this thing is settled amicably in the most calm experience you could get, and your partner keep yelling or this or that, I will advise you to stop discussion and just walk away at that point in time. You can discuss it when you feel he or she is more relaxed, and that is very important that you look at him or her, look at the mood. If your man is stressed, your woman is stressed, and you don't know how to approach him or her in starting the discussion, you bring out the worst in them. Just take note of this. Don't use harshness. And by harshness, I mean watch uncautioned emotional outburst or confrontation. All right, let's quickly go to the second one. Let's quickly go to the second one. The second don't of conflict resolution. That's the second way you must never go by if you're trying to resolve conflict is Don't mock your spouse or partner. Don't mock your spouse or partner. Don't mock them. Don't be sarcastic, bluff, or mockingly imitate when expressing your displeasure to your spouse. Mocking your spouse in making a point will do nothing but break his or her personality and mostly bring out a defiant and offensive response from he or her. I think the book said it all. I just said it all. Don't bluff. Don't take away sarcasm. Don't mock him or her, even when he or she had made a mistake. We have a very good example of such in our Bible. The Bible told us the story of Michal, the daughter of Saul, who mocked her husband David for dancing and not well cladded, that is, well dressed, when he danced before the people. To the wife Michal, a royalty, the king being a royal, his majesty ought not to be that dressed. He ought to be well dressed and not look shabbily dressed like a commoner while he appeared before the people. But she made that point to her husband in a mocking tone, and her husband spoke in such an unfriendly manner in response. This is what you must know. For example, you need to understand what I'm saying. You caught your husband, you caught your partner flirting with the opposite sex, and you want to correct him. You need to find a better way to express your jealousy than saying, look at you, look at the way you are behaving like a chicken, or saying things that can provoke him or her. Don't mock, don't use sarcasm, don't bluff. Just try to say it in such a way he or she will understand how exactly you feel and they will not take offense. All right. Having said that, let's go to the third one. Let's quickly go to the third one. The third don't of conflict resolution. We are talking of each time you are trying to settle conflicts between you and your loved ones, or you want to discuss an issue that you know it is conflict potential or could generate to conflict. All right, number third one, the third one, don't insult your spouse. Don't insult your spouse. And that is why I keep saying to people, even right from the day of dating, learn to cultivate the habit of respecting each other. Guys, you need to respect the ladies you are dating or you are engaged to. And ladies, you must understand the place of respect to a man. It's all about respect. There is nothing you do to a man that will worth the relationship to him, no matter how much he loves you, unless you respect him. Nothing fits a man's ego more than when you respect him. And so it will be just too unbecoming if when your partner had offended you, especially for the female counterpart, when your male partner offends you and you are insulting him to prove that point, you are insulting him to bring that point to his notice. No, don't do such. The book says, why should you ever think, why should you ever think of slighting, lambasting, or insulting, nor raising abusive words on your spouse? Why should you ever think such will pass your message across more effectively? Doing such is not a healthy way of passing across your grievances. Such attitude will only generate a negative reaction in the two of you. It will mostly generate more conflict, bitterness, and hatred. So please, don't ever insult your partner in making your grievances known. God bless you. The fourth one, don't use denial. This is specifically for the married. Don't use denial. Don't use. What do I mean by denial? Let me read from the book. And this one is still the most dehumanizing attitude any well meaning partner should ever employ in marriage. You must never try to deny your spouse his or her conjugal rights or other beneficial rights. He or she derives, that is, the beneficial right or conjugal right he or she derives from you, or because of the little challenges you are both having now. It is a sin against God and humanity. Even if you have to do that because of tense and sharp arguments for a period of time, please try as much as possible to reconcile on time so that neither of you will think of yielding to eternal pressures or temptations. What does this mean? In a very simple, applicable manner. Men, listen, don't deny your wife our daily financial right. That is, if you're the man who gives your wife a daily pocket money, a weekly pocket money, a monthly pocket pay, don't deny her because she offends you. It's a sin against God. In fact, it's unbecoming of you as a man. No matter what she has done, don't deny her food. Don't deny her clothing. Don't deny her any good thing. It's not just right. And for women, because women like this a lot, in marriage, women always act as if men don't know more than sex, or as if it's only men who enjoy sex, whereas the reverse is the case. Women benefit more sexually when there is sexual intercourse than the male counterpart. This is proven biologically. Women are the one. God intentionally has taxed women to be the one responsible for pregnancy and for nurturing child because they are the one who benefit more in the outcome of love making. But most women naturally will zip up when they have issues with their husband. They believe they'll bring the man to his knees or for some unjustified selfish reason. They believe it's a powerful tool in the hand of a woman to deny man love, to deny man sexual intercourse when he has offended them. You need to stop this if you have been doing this. You need to stop it. It's not a healthy thing to do. It's not a healthy thing to do. Either you guys are quarreling, you're arguing, you're fighting. You should not give room to the devil. You should not do things that would degenerate to hatred or that some people out there can take advantage of and use to separate your marriage. All right? As a woman, there is a better way. You can even still make love to your husband, even when he has offended you. There is a way you can let his conscience beat him more by even giving him more access to your body. For example, in a case of a man who cheated on you, in a case of a man who went outside or who you caught trying to cheat on you, it is the time you should be there for him the more. It is the time you should show him, I am not really sure why you are going out because I will be here for you over and over again. It's the time you should show him, I am your wife. You don't need to steal this thing outside. You need to know this as women. And for men, for God's sake, I'm saying this again, don't deny your woman any good thing you give to her because she had offended you, because she didn't cook your food, because she didn't listen to you. In fact, look at me. Women likes money a lot. The time you should give her money more is when you are trying to tell her. For example, women we often have problem with telling women to do certain things and they are not doing it. Can you try this style? Like I've said to a lot of couples, I said to the men, you have told your wife to do something, she's not doing it. Give her money and say that thing at that point in time. You will find out she heard you. In fact, she will listen and make sure she do it. For example, you want to say, woman, have I not told you not to talk to this your friend again? Give her money and say, woman, take. Don't talk to, for example, the woman's name is Kiki. Say, take woman. Please, I don't want you to talk to Kiki again. Yeah, do you love me? Do you love me? Take this money I'm giving you because I love you so much. Just do me a favor. Please don't talk to Kiki again. I don't like Kiki's influence. I don't like the way I feel when I see you with Kiki. You'll find that she will listen. And she'll do everything within her power to oblige. She may not be able to let go of Kiki immediately, but you'll find that she will start trying as much as possible to make sure she does not bring Kiki around wherever you are or make you still feel Kiki is still an intrusion in the home. So men, don't use denial. Women don't use denial. All right, because of our time, let's rush over this. Number 5, this is also very important. When you're trying to resolve conflicts between yourself and your partner, please don't keep records of offenses. Don't do it. Record of offenses. What do I mean? Keeping record of offenses is a clear sign of an unforgiving heart full of hatred and bitterness. You don't have to harbor hatred or bitterness. Such attitude can even do much harm and hazard to your own mental and physical health. It can sooner or later hamper your whole life together as married couples. If there is something your spouse seems to keep doing that you are not pleased about, and since you know you are also without, and you also know that you are also without human weaknesses, the best way to handle such is to start seeing it as a weakness on his or her part. So instead of allowing such to steal your joy or hamper your love affairs with him or her, why don't you start presenting such to the Lord in prayer and see how praying could really make a difference? People don't keep record of offenses. You want to talk to your man over something he has done wrong, and you start this way. Dear, I remember 2 years ago you did this thing. Dear, I remember that when you were dating me and you took me out on our first date on October 8th, you did this thing in ShopRite. You want to kill that man. When you say that to him, you want to kill him. He will be afraid. Now we are married. This is over 5 years. This is 3 years. This is 4 years. And you remember those things we did. Oh, some women will tell me, oh, I'm very intelligent. I don't forget things easily. You are truly very intelligent. But remembering those things will affect you mentally and physically. With time, it will affect you mentally. You'll not be able to love your partner freely. Look at me. Let's understand this. There is no how good your partner will be, whether man or woman. There will just be something they are not just good at. Because there's no perfect human anywhere. So stop keeping records of offense. And when we had our first child, you did this. When we had our second child, you did this. When your mother visited this place, you did this. Now your younger one is here, you are doing it. This is what you did when my own mother came. Now your own mother. Don't keep record of offenses. Forgive and forget. It's not easy to forget, but don't bring it up each time you are trying to resolve issue. And stop talking about offense as a way of defending yourself. When your partner is trying to point out something he or she is not pleased with. Now, a lot of men does this. A lot of women too do it. Your partner is saying, I don't like this. Then you will say, you also did this. No, stop using record of offense as a means of defense. It's very provocating. It's very annoying. Stop it. Please stop it. And the Lord will help you. If there's something you're trying to correct, he or she is not changing, pray about it. Prayer make a difference. Prayer can help him. You need prayer, your partner too need prayer. And praying, you will see the difference it will bring. All right, because of time. Okay, the sixth one, before we go to the very last one, don'ts of conflict resolution. Don'ts of conflict resolution. The sixth one, don't backtalk your spouse before friends, relative, neighbor, or your children. Don't backtalk your spouse, your partner before friends, relative, neighbors, or your children. I already said it. Try as much as possible. Be wary of involving third party over conflicting differential interests in your relationship. Men, don't discuss your wife frailty and weaknesses with your friends. Most of them don't have good idea. They don't have good advice. Rarely out of 10 friends will you find one or two who will give you the right advice you need concerning that woman in your life. And so women also, stop reporting your husband to his children. It's wrong. The children are just too young to understand what you are complaining about. It will rather put their dad in a bad picture in their mind. Don't report him to their children. Don't report your husband to these kids. You wouldn't love it if he's doing that to you. So you too don't do it. And please, don't report this union also. Don't report it to your relatives. Stop telling neighbor. Now, I know women need to talk. Women, I will say you need to talk because of your psychological makeup. Woman, listen. If you ever need to talk to somebody about something your husband has done or is doing that is displeasing you, please talk to a marriage counselor or talk to a matured mind. I like to say that again. Talk to a marriage counselor or talk to a matured mind. In a case whereby you are trying to resolve this with him, you call them several times, it seems unyielding. It's not responding positively, rather it's getting worse. Talk to a marriage counselor or talk to a matured mind. Somebody who you know who will mediate, who will rather be interested in how to resolve you and your partner without tearing you guys apart. Is this okay? God bless you. All right. Well, because of time, let's rush over the seventh one. Don't feel too big to say I am sorry. The word sorry is a very powerful word in relationship. It's a very powerful word. Don't wait till you are wrong before you say you are sorry. That your partner already feels bad about something you have done or you're doing is enough to say, dear, I'm sorry. I'm making you feel this way. I'm sorry I'm putting you in this feeling. I'm sorry for bringing this up. I'm sorry. You should know how to apologize and to genuinely say you are sorry. You must know how to say it. Feeling too big to say I'm sorry is a quick way to jeopardize love in your relationship. It's a quick way to jeopardize love in your relationship. So don't feel too big to say I am sorry. All right, for the purpose of this teaching, I will quickly run over the 7 things I have written in this book. 7 things I've written in this book, single digest. Don'ts I call don'ts of conflict resolution. 7 things you should not do. Remember them. Number one, don't use harshness. When you're trying to point out your partner's fault or mistake, don't use harshness. Don't allow emotional outburst or confrontation, especially for the female to the male. Don't use harshness. Number two, don't mock your spouse. You're trying to point out what he or she has done. Don't mock them. Don't be sarcastic. Don't bluff. Don't mockingly imitate the error they have done. It's demeaning. It kills love. Number three, don't insult your spouse. Respect is reciprocal. Learn to cultivate healthy, respectful attitude in your union. Don't insult them. Number four, don't use denial. Men, whatever your wife benefits from you, whatever your partner benefits from you, don't say you stop because she offends you. It's wrong. And women, especially the married, please stop using sexual denial. Most of you by that have drained your husband sexually and made them a sex spree, going out with anything that crossed their path. Number five, don't keep records of offenses. Don't keep records of offenses. Number six, don't backtalk your spouse. Don't backtalk your spouse to your friends, relatives, neighbors, or the children. And number seven, don't feel too big to say I am sorry. These are the 7 don'ts of conflict resolution. I want to believe you found this teaching amazing and it's helpful one way or the other. I want you to like this. I want you to watch, to listen to it over and over again till you fully understand, you fully grasp what I'm trying to say in it. And I'll wait your comments in the comment section. Thank you. My name's Anthony Olugbega Kapo, and I want you to watch out for more series that I'll be doing in this season, especially this month of February, the month of love. God bless you. See you around. Watch out for the next one. I'll be talking about the 5 do's of successful relationship. Since we talk about the 7 don'ts of conflict relationship, I'll talk about the 5 do's of successful relationship. God bless you. Thank you. See you around.